Realtors.
Hi, Holly. Thank you it's good seeing you again.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. Ooh, excuse me. Let me flatten that out a little. Happy to be here. So, and meet everybody that I don't know, because there's a few on here I don't know, I don't think. Anthony, do I know you? I don't think so. Nice to meet you. I'm Holly Gerchen in St. Louis. And yeah, I need to put my glasses on because I can't read. Rachel and Vanda and Anna. And let's see. Uh-oh. Just tell them I'll call them back. Let me turn this off.
Turn my phone on
There we
silent.
go. And Dina and Santa and Anita.
So these are all Houston people.
Excellent. Yay. Okay. Good. Okay. Well, are you guys ready? Should we get started?
Yes, yes. We had the pleasure of meeting Holly again in Panama. And she agreed she said she had an awesome conversion with Opcity clients. And that's how this conversation went. You closed how many? You can go ahead and tell your story, Holly.
So my first 2 years with EXP, I missed Icon by 2 deals each year. And I was pretty upset about that. So I had not been doing any Opcity, and I decided I was going to get really good at Opcity and I was never going to miss Icon again. And so my 3rd, 4th, and now 5th year with EXP, I've hit Icon. And so 3 years. So my recommendation to everyone, even if you don't think that you can possibly close that many deals, is to do it. Just find a way. And so that's what I did, because that, anywhere from 12,000 to 16,000 is going to go into your stock. Our stock is really low right now, which is great because we can buy a lot more with it right now. And then in 10 years, when you may want the stock, I'm sure we'll be in a place where, the stock will have gone up again. At the height of the stock, it was $160 a share. And I think we're somewhere around, I don't know, I haven't looked in the past week, but $13 somewhere in there. It's really undervalued. So definitely getting good at conversion is important. So Opcity, my background, you guys, is I started selling real estate when I was 25 years old. So I've been selling real estate for 32 years in some form, shape, or another. I did some rehabbing during that time as well. But I got really good on the phone. I also did a bunch of network marketing along the way, and it's super uncomfortable calling people, like cold calling people, right? And so for me, Opcity was nothing because I had done a lot of that already. And what I realized with Opcity is the more value you can bring to that person, the fastest you can do it and show them that you are what they need to buy a house, the sooner they will call themselves your client. So it's a very simple process, I think. If you're keeping in mind that the person on the other end of the phone really probably doesn't know that much. And even if they're a higher end buyer, obviously they don't have an agent. And you're going to ask them that, because if they're calling realtor.com instead of calling their agent, they don't know exactly how this works, or they are not, they don't feel obligated to somebody. They haven't chosen somebody, right? So take advantage of that. So as soon as Opcity calls and you pick it up and they say, I have so-and-so on the line, they are looking at XYZ on Smith Street, you're going to pull that house up immediately. So hopefully you're sitting in front of your computer and you're listening to what they're saying, and you're in your MLS and you're pulling up the property that this person is interested in. I'd say in the market we've been in, 8 out of 10 times it's pending, it's under contract, right? Because Realtor does not update the way MLS updates, even though they claim they do. So it's going to be pending, but you need to have that information in front of you. So when they introduce you and they say, Holly, I'm going to leave you now, and you say, great, thanks so much. I always thank that person for hanging in there, because it took a few minutes. They were on hold. So I say something along the lines, I know it took a long time to connect with me. I appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. So I'm Holly with the Holly Gerchen Group, and I've pulled up the property that you're interested in, and XYZ, right? Either it's a beautiful property, I love it. So what is it about this property that you're most interested in? Is it in the school district you need to be in? Is it the amount of bedrooms? Is it just aesthetically it's beautiful? Tell me what it is in this particular property that you're looking for. So that's one way to go. Second way to go is, I'm really sorry, but this property is actually under contract. However, I can find you another property that's going to meet your needs. So let's talk about that. And then once again, what was it about this property that you liked? Are you looking for a particular school district? Do you have kids? Do you have a certain need for, let's say it has 6 bedrooms, 6 bedrooms? So you're going to create a conversation. You're not talking at them, you're talking with them, but you want to ask them some questions that they're going to answer. Oh, you know what? My best friend lives right next door. I'd love to be in that neighborhood. Oh, okay, fantastic. Wouldn't that have been fun? Who knows? Maybe it'll fall out of contract. We can keep an eye on it. Okay, and then you're going to ask some more questions like, so if this was available, does it have all the features you're looking for? What are the features that are important to you in a house? Now, as they become comfortable with you, because you're just having a conversation, you're not trying to push them or sell them anything, you're just trying to figure out what their needs are. Then you're going to say, okay, so this one was listed at $350,000. So do you feel like that's your price range? Now, this is an opportunity where you're trying to find out if they are pre-approved, right? So their answer might be, yeah, my lender has me pre-approved up to 400,000. Oh, okay, great, perfect. So you have a pre-approval letter, is that correct? They'll say yes, and you'll say super. So I'll definitely need that, because when we go look at homes, I need to have that, in order to get into homes these days. People want to know that you're pre-approved. So you can send that over to me later. We can discuss that. Now, the other thing they're going to say is, well, I don't know. I just really like that house. I don't know what I qualify for. Okay, no worries. So do you have a lender that you love? That is a question you want to ask. And 9 times out of 10, they say, no, I don't have a lender. Okay, great. No worries. Don't worry about it. I've got several that I really, really like. And if you're comfortable, I can set you up with one of those lenders, because that's really our first step. So, and then you're going to ask some more questions. So is this the first house that you'll be buying? Is this your first home? Yes, no. What you're trying to fill out is, do they know this process? Okay, so that's the moment in which you're going to say, no worries. I mean, this is what I do, you guys. This is what I say. So they say, no, I've never bought a house before. Okay, no worries. The good news is I do this every day, and I help, minimum of, 40 to 50 buyers a year get into a home. So I'm going to take care of you. So you don't need to worry about a thing. So people need to be told what to do. Imagine that that you're buying, you're in a foreign country, Panama, and you want to buy a property. We don't know, how does it work in Panama, right? And so if you have somebody say, no worries, I've got you. I do this every day in Panama, and here are the steps. We're like, oh, okay, great, good. I can relax, right? So that is your goal, is for them to relax. You say, don't worry about it. I do this every day. I'm going to take care of you. So the first thing we need to do is we need to get you with a lender, because we're going to need your pre-approval. Imagine if I showed you 4 or 5 houses and you loved one, but you're not pre-approved. And by the time we even called the lender, it's under contract. That's how busy the market's been. So that's going to be our first step. So here's what I'm going to do when I hang up with you. I'm going to do a text introduction. This is really important, you guys. I'm going to do a text introduction between you and whichever lender of your choice, with you and Rachel, with you and Sean. And then you guys can set up a time to discuss and talk. He'll have an application that you need to fill out because he's going to need all your information. He's going to need to know, where you're employed, and, he'll need to pull your credit. So you'll need to give him the social security number. There's usually a secured platform he's going to send you to put all that information in. So you see what I'm doing? I'm setting this up for the lender. And once he looks over, how much money you make, and is it going to be you and your wife, by the way? So you're keep pulling out information. You're just not overwhelming them with question after question. So in the midst of that, oh, by the way, is it you and your wife, or you and your husband? You're both. Okay, great. So, he's going to need both of your informations because we're going to use both incomes, right? And so I'm going to do a text introduction. And then you're going to set up a time with Sean to talk and fill out the application. And then we're going to get a pre-approval. We're going to know how much you can afford. And then that way, I'm showing you the right homes. Does that make sense? And I get buy-in. Okay. So you want people to say, oh yeah, that makes sense. Is that okay with you? If I text you and Sean, would that be helpful? Okay. So these are things that you're not just telling, you're saying, is that okay with you? Is that good? Would that be helpful? And so here they're all like, yeah, that's actually what I need. That's perfect. Okay, great. So next, what I'm going to do is, based on what you've told me, it sounds like you need to be in this school district. Sounds like you need this amount of homes, this amount of bedrooms, this size garage, whatever it might be. Now, when you're asking those specific questions, because our market is such that we don't have this huge amount of inventory, you'll say, so, and this is here in St. Louis. I don't know how it is there. Maybe every house where you guys are in Houston, Florida, or Atlanta has a garage. It's not the case here. So you might be like, okay, so is a garage, is that a deal killer if you don't have a garage? And then they're going to tell you, no, I mean, I can always build a garage. Or, well, we have to have at least a 1-car garage. Okay, so here's the deal. We just don't have as much inventory as I would like. And I don't want to miss the perfect house for you because it doesn't have a garage. Because if you saw it, you might be like, oh, we love this house. So should I leave that off, do you think? Just so we make sure. It doesn't mean you have to look at anything. It just means it comes to you and you can see it. Oh, yeah, I leave the garage off then. Okay. So you see what I'm saying? You want to get the biggest amount of homes over to them in an auto email so that you don't miss something. So there's a saying that's been around as long as I've been selling real estate. It's you may have heard of it, and it's buyers are. You guys heard of it? Liars. Buyers are liars. Okay.
Liars.
Buyers are liars. How many times has someone told you, oh, I have to have this, have to have it. It's it's a must have. And they buy a house, of course, what it doesn't have, whatever was just so important to them, but it has everything else and they love it. They're so happy. So you want to listen with the thought process of, yeah, we'll see. But if they have 5 kids and they're like, we can't have less than 4 bedrooms, then okay. And if you have basements, we have basements. I know in Florida you don't, but in Houston you don't, I don't think either. But Atlanta, do you guys have basements?
Not really.
Yes,
Yes and no. Okay.
yes, we do.
Okay. So, a lot of times I say, hey, there might be a sleeping area in the basement, right? It may not have a window, but somebody may use it as a bedroom. Is that okay? Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to put 3+ so that we don't miss, because as agents, we can't make it a legal bedroom in MLS if it doesn't have an egress window or a closet, but it might still be okay. Sure, that's fine. So find ways to make sure you're expanding the list for them. Okay, so through this process, you guys, of asking questions, of you're building rapport. You're asking them things that are important to them. You're also letting them know, hey, you know what? If you see a for sale by owner, I can show you everything. Just because something's listed with another agent or it's a for sale by owner, one agent can show you absolutely everything. If it's a for sale by owner, call me. I will call on that for you and get all the information, because in most cases, for sale by owners will work with the buyer's agent. And I want to make sure that you're protected. because this is a lot of money. This is your first home and it's a lot of money. So we want to make sure that you have someone who knows how to do this. If you were to go in and work directly with a seller, number one, a realtor, a buyer's agent really doesn't cost you anything to speak of. So you want to make sure that you're covered and you're protected. Just because that seller doesn't want to have an agent, you yourself should have an agent to make sure that someone's there to watch your back, to negotiate for you, to walk you through inspections, right? Once again, if it's something you don't know, you mute.
And Macrina, put yourself on mute, please.
There we go. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so where was I? Let's see. So you're building rapport, and that's really important. So by the time I hang up with this particular buyer, I'm going to immediately do a chat. So I'm going to get on my phone. I'm going to have put their information in my phone. I also verify that the information that they gave to realtor.com is correct. I say, I'm sure you gave them the correct information. Sometimes not. But I don't know that they always write it down correctly because I've had issues, right, where it's not. So you're going to make sure that that email is the correct email, that that phone number is the correct phone number. And Anthony, I'm sorry, hold on. Anthony, did you have a question?
Yeah. I think did I miss something? Because I thought Opcity was for renters. Don't they come in for renters?
Only if you checked it. So there's a place, Anthony, in your back office on Opcity that you're going to put your parameters. Now, if you're just building your business, you could do renters. There's a place where you can mark it and say you'll do renters, but trust me, all you'll get is renters because no one wants to do renters.
Yeah, that's what I've had because that's why I was confused. I was like, I thought they come in as renters. It's the only reason. That's all I've ever known, and it is hard because most people, when I was introduced to Opcity, they was like, get him a renter and try to put him in rent to own. So I didn't know. That's why I was sitting here so confused. I was like, what are you talking about buying through Opcity?
So there are a couple ways to do it. I mean, you could use one of those companies out there. But I think most of them are really, really horrible, you guys. My sister actually used one, and it's one that EXP is joint ventured with, Home Partners of America. There is a Facebook page with thousands of people on there that are trying to litigate against Home Partners of America. They will let the house fall down around them. They will, if there's mold, they will not remediate it. I mean, it's really bad. So, and my sister had a situation.
I had a client through Opcity that went with Divvy, not Home Partners, but a tree fell in their home and their Divvy wouldn't help them fix it. So there's like right now, she's still calling me from an Airbnb. So.
Yeah, I mean, these companies, that's why I don't want to use them at all. And I've had a couple EXP agents here in St. Louis get really mad at me because I've posted it on our page. Like, guys, do not use this. Look at what's going on. And then he's a newer agent. He's like, I've closed 10 deals with them. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, but you don't freaking care about your buyers. In the long run, you're just trying to get paid because I'm showing you this and I'm telling you this. And so your clients someone's going to experience it. Now, if you're putting them in a newer home, the inspections looked good. Okay, hopefully a tree doesn't fall on it, But, here in St. Louis, we got a lot of older homes and shit happens. And if you're a renter, it's not your responsibility, but Home Partners of America and I guess Divvy makes it your responsibility. So just know that. Okay, so it sounds to me like, Anthony, you need to go into your back office on Opcity. There you go. And you need to mark buyers, sellers, and you need to mark your price range. Now, if you're just starting with Opcity, you're going to get a low price range. That's okay. I did not care. Because I had missed Icon twice by 2 deals, right? And what did that cost me? That cost me, $32,000 in stock. And the third year when I did hit Icon, they bought my stock at $35 a share and it went up to $160 and then it split. Okay. So what did that stock actually make me, even though it's low again, but I got twice the amount. I got $32,000 worth of stock that year because it split, right? So when it splits, it's 2 times and they reduce the price on the stock to keep it affordable for the agent. Okay. So you just take that damn $60,000 deal, get your 3 done. Once you have 3 closed with Opcity, you'll start getting good referrals. I got a $3.9 million referral the other day. Called the guy, I think yesterday, like, hey, I'm back in town. And he's like, can I call you back? And I was like, just so you're clear, if you're really not looking, it's fine. Just let me know. Maybe you were just interested in finding out about a house. I get it, but I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to be calling you, wasting your time. And of course, more importantly, I don't want to waste money. And he said, no, I will call you back. I said, okay, he hasn't called me back, but I will call him again today. It's 3.9. But I will keep calling the man until he says, okay, bitch, I'm done with you. I don't want your help. Okay, now we're clear, but do not give up. I told one of my agents, she said, oh, he hasn't returned my calls. I called him and then I text him. I go, 7 times. Did you call and text 7 times? It takes a minimum of 7 times before you're going to stop calling. Okay. You have to assume that people are busy. I've had all kinds of people trying to sell me something that I might want. But I put them off, and then there comes a time where I'm like, you know what? I think I do want that. And they've stopped calling me. Has that happened to any of you where you're like, damn, I wish that person would call me now because now I do want this. So that's the same thing with us as realtors. You have to forget about yourself. If you're bugging them, if they don't ever want to hear from you again, they will tell you, or they'll block the number. Right? It'll go straight to voicemail for the next 10 times you call and you'll be like, okay, I'm blocked, but at least you were calling. So, so I just invite you to don't give up after 1 call and 1 text, really put it out there on your calendar that you're going to call somebody 7 times. And you can say things like, hey, I don't want to bug you, but I just want to let you know about a new house that came up. Because every morning when I was, when I had more time, when I was really building my buyers and my sellers, I would, let's say somebody said to me, you know what, I'm not looking right now, but I might be like next year sometime. Okay, great. Hey, why don't we do this? Why don't I set you up on an auto email? It takes me 5 minutes. It's just no big deal as far as my time goes. And you tell me what you're looking for. And right now you can be seeing things as they go under contract and they sell. You'll get an idea as to what you like and what it's selling for. So then you'll know. And they're like, oh, that would be great. Great. And then, so you would need to sell your house. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. So you find out where they want to buy. And then you go, you know what? I can make a second auto email just for your neighborhood, just for your neighborhood. Just so you can see what your neighborhood's doing. Would that be helpful? Now, in doing that, you guys, you're getting your name in front of them almost on a daily basis. And then I do this through MLS. I know probably a lot of you would do it through KV Core, but I'm older and I've used MLS and I don't want to learn anything new. So I use MLS, but I can see when they're in there, right? You know how you can see where your buyers have been, or, they've looked at everything and you can see if they loved anything, if they threw it in the trash can or whatever. So now, you're able to keep an eye on them without bugging them, but then you can also see what they're loving and you can be like, oh, hey, this came out. That's kind of cool. You might get in your search. So if they're not in a hurry, I just set them up as, once a day, like in the mornings. So, but I might send them something, go, hey, you might have found this in your search. But it looked just like what I thought you might like. So I just thought I'd send it to you for fun. So once again, everything's super casual, but it's constant. So they're not feeling pressured, but they're not going to go to someone else, right? Because they see how hard you're working for them. They see that you're like, oh, Holly knows what I want. Oh, she like, and you're going to be their call. Okay. So that's just a little tip on keeping in front of the people who say, oh, I'm not ready yet. That's okay. You don't need to be ready.
I had turned off my Opcity leads, but I think I might re-engage it again and see what happens, because I've only closed one with them. And it was a while back and I was getting them, wasn't getting them, and I'm like, okay, I stopped.
You have to be fast. So, I have them come to me as a text. Do you guys have them come to you as a text? Like where it pops up as a text and it says you've got a Opcity
Yeah.
lead or Realtor.com lead or whatever. Hmm?
You have another question in there.
Okay.
Hi. Which Opcity are you working with? Because my Opcity, I've had it on since I got on, and I haven't gotten any really good leads. And all the leads that I do get, they're not pre-qualified. They're not prepared at all. And then once I try to continue to keep in contact with them, they ghost me. So is this a different Opcity?
No, Santa, it isn't. So if I was in your market, I would be able to convert those. So everything I just went through, you want to learn that. You want to, replay this when you get the recording. You want to write down the things I'm saying. You want to create a connection. None of the people, I closed 22 Opcity leads that year, my third year with EXP. It was Opcity called me and asked me, what are you doing? Because it was like a 25% conversion rate. He said, every other agent is no higher than 3%. What are you doing? And, and I said, well, if you want to pay me to, help people, give me $5,000 or something, I'll do a call for you. Right. They laughed. So anyway, you just want to get good at establishing a connection. Just because they're not pre-approved, pre-qualified doesn't mean they can't get pre-qualified. Now,
No, that's what I'm saying. They're not pre-qualified, but then once I try to, get more information out of them so I can try and see if we can get them qualified for something, they ghost me. It's like they're just looking on there just to see, and then that's it.
So they don't trust you. Okay, so you have to build trust. So if I got on a call, like let's just say I did this. Okay, the Opcity guy says, okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. And I say, okay, great. And I say, okay, Santa, have you talked to a lender yet? And Santa, you say, no. Okay, well, that's what we have to do first. So we're gonna do that first. So how much money do you make? Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, I'd be on the other end going, I'm hanging up now, because I don't feel a relationship with that person. So you can't just go, Santa, I'm a high D, by the way. So, and you might be more of a D too. Like, let's go, let's get this done. And I've had to learn to soften myself. I mean, when I was 25, 26, starting out selling real estate, I mean, everybody in the office was afraid of me, right? I mean, it was a bad market in Hawaii. And if anyone said that in front of me, I'd be like, get the hell out of my space, because I was closing properties. We weren't allowed to have a desk, and I had a desk. I'd come in the office. If someone was sitting at my desk, I stood there until they left. So, I was like that. I was kind of a bitch. And so just a little bit, Anthony's like, yeah. But over the years,
No way.
I know you're not.
We would not have been friends.
No.
We would not have made it. No.
So, you have to realize that people are afraid. That person on the other line doesn't know any of us, right? They don't know you. So you have to be like, hey, thank you for waiting. I know it was a few minutes before you actually got an agent, and I'm so happy to be here with you and help you. So what did you love about that house? You have to spend 5 minutes getting to know them. Oh, do you have kids? Is school district important? Now, these are questions that are important to them, and they're happy to share them. But if I started out with, how much money do you make? What's your credit like? I mean, click, right? So I invite you to just kind of listen to the whole thing and write yourself some notes and take an Opcity lead just to pretend and try. Just like, okay, I'm going to try what Holly says, and slow your speech down. One of the things I do, because I'm a fast talker, is when I'm on with a lead, I talk like this. I slow my speech down, and I have a little bit more of a sing-songy tone. I just do that naturally, and it's not natural for me, right? That's not how I speak. But when I'm speaking to someone I don't know, unless they show me that they are a high D, unless they're like, look, this is what I'm interested in. I want this, this, and this. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to be like, okay, great, no problem. Let's see. Let me look at that neighborhood. Yep, I pulled up this house. It's a great house. I'm going to match them. But most people are scared. They're not that person. They're not like, let's get to the point here. They need you to hold their hand. Okay. So by the time I hang up with them, I've told them, okay, Santa, I've got you. Okay. So next step, remember, I'm going to do a text with Sean in just a minute. Okay. Is that good with you? You're going to look for that text, Santa? Don't play with me. It's okay. I see you're muted. And they're going to say, yeah, no, that sounds great. Okay. And then after that, just to remind you, I'm going to put you on an auto email. Now you have to go in and click on that auto email and actually open it in order to continue to see houses from me. So I want to make sure you do that. Okay. So just know when I hang up here, it'll probably be about 20 minutes. I mean, I legitimately do it right then. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to text you my contact information. Do you have an iPhone? I need to find out, do they have an Android or an iPhone? Because if I have an iPhone, and if they have an Android, I might send them my contact. They may not be able to open it, right? Because sometimes that's how it is with iPhones and Androids. So if they say I have an Android, I say, okay, I have an iPhone. I'm going to send you my contact. I want you to let me know if you could download it into your phone. If you can't, then I'm going to type out my information and send it to you. Is that good? So and I'm always getting yes, no. Is that good? Oh, that's great. That's perfect. Okay, so now you don't ever need to call anyone but me. As far as real estate, you see a house, take a picture of the side, just take a picture of it. Send it to me. Send me the address. I'll pull it up for you. I got you, okay? All right, so you see how the tone is just more, I'm taking care of you, and I do this all the time. And I want to help you. I want to get you into a home, with your kids. You guys need a home. It's time. We're going to get this done for you. Okay. Now, obviously the next step is they're going to talk to the lender and we're going to find out, can we get them into a home? However, if I can't get them into a home, there's things we can do to get their credit score up, right? There's programs, there's assistance with first-time home buyers. So you want to get good at figuring that out. I want you guys to go look at rockthescore.com. It is approved by Fannie Mae and some others, I think, but Fannie Mae for sure, where you can get your folks who are renting, you can get their rent to show up on their credit. If they're on time with their rent. If they're not, then you don't want to do it. But if they're timely with their rent, they've been renting for 2-3 years or whatever, you then have that, it gets reported and their score is going to go up 30 points. It's big. So check out Rock the Score. I should probably link you to me, but I don't really care. So just go ahead and go there. I'm actually working on getting Rock the Score to be only for eXp Realty. We're in the process right now. So I'm hoping, because guess what, you guys, lots of people go there without agents, right? And then when they're ready to be a buyer, wow, if it's only eXp and they get referred to us. Wouldn't that be great? So we're in conference about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's a good tool. So use it, with your people who are renting. Not a lot of people don't know about it, right? A lot of agents don't know about it. So that's a tool that you can use now. So what else? You guys have any questions?
I have a question. So at what point do you bring in the representation agreement?
Not until after I show them property, but that's me, you guys. Everybody does it differently. I've been doing this for 32 years. There were no buyer's agency agreements. So for me, I'm very comfortable meeting somebody, showing them a few houses, building, they're like, oh, Holly, right? Now we're face to face. They've never seen me before. I mean, I've worked a lot in the Black community, and I'm not Black, but they were all, just in case you didn't notice, they were all single moms with children. And I was like, it doesn't matter what color we are, you and me, we're single moms with children. And I've got you. I'm going to take care of you. You're going to have equity in this home. I mean, these women bought homes 3-4 years ago for me. Oh my gosh, how much equity do they have? If I hadn't had this desire in my heart to make sure I got them into a home, no matter how hard it was, because a lot of it was hard and a lot of it was cheap real estate, right? I didn't care. It wasn't about me and my paycheck, other than I wanted to be an icon, but it was about getting those children into a home and teaching these women that they could have home ownership. And guess what? I don't need Opcity. I get so many referrals. And that group of women's a group that refers to me all the time, right? There's Black agents in their market. You got to go talk to Holly. I was at the nail salon getting my nails done. And the woman next to me, we look at each other and I'm like, and she's like, Holly, and it was one of my clients. I couldn't remember her name, right? Because I've had 100 clients since her, but I totally recognized her. I remembered which house, I knew what her kids looked like. And she goes, oh, do you guys, we're in a nail salon. Do you guys know who this is? So funny, right? I mean, I'm nobody. The best realtor ever. That's what you want, right? And that was Opcity. That was Opcity.
Cool.
Okay. So just get to a place where you're walking them through step by step. They're knowing what's next. And they're not going to leave you. I don't worry about the buyer's agency agreement, right? When I write the offer, I do the buyer's agency agreement. That's just me. Once again, you probably should sit down and have coffee with them and get it signed. I'm not saying you shouldn't. And your mentor, whoever's helping you, may tell you, you need that signed right away. But I tell you, for me, 9 times out of 10, it's fine. There's that one that where I'll get screwed. Yeah, you can have a buyer's agency agreement and get screwed, right? I mean, it's only worth the little bit of paper it is. If somebody doesn't want to work with you, they're not going to work with you. If they suddenly decide you are not the agent for me, what are you going to do? We have a buyer's agency agreement and you cannot get out. You're gonna be like, okay, well, who are you working with? Maybe try and go get a 25% referral from the other person that they've decided to work with. Go, look, I have a buyer's agency agreement. Make it difficult on the agent, not the person. Maybe make it like, look, I have a buyer's agency agreement. I get it. They want to work with you. It's fine. I want 25%. I've showed them 20 homes or 10 homes, or I showed them 1 home. Yeah, if you showed them 1 home, just let them go. So those are my thoughts. What else?
Hey, Holly, a couple of things that you said resonated with me. One is I really like that you thank them for holding, because we do a lot of Zillow calls, and you're right. Because we get several of them where, well, they hung up the phone, so now we got to call them back, and so now
Right.
I'm waiting on the line. So I think that's a really great point, saying, thank you for waiting for the connection. I'm really glad to talk to you. What is it you like about this house? I think that's an excellent opening. Also, you use one of the things that I use also is, would you find that helpful?
Right. Absolutely.
One of the things in whatever service I'm going to ask, I'm offering them, I ask, would that be helpful to you? And
Absolutely.
they always say yes.
Right. So it's getting their buy-in. Wherever you can get buy-in, you want to. So you want them to say, oh, that'd be great. Oh yeah, that would be fantastic. I never thought about that. And that's when you go, that's okay, because I do this all the time. So I get paid to think about this all the time. So, I like to make jokes. I like to just make it easy and casual, and they don't feel, because some agents are very uptight, right? They're very like, and they only work in this, no, that's not enough money or whatever, and I don't want anyone to ever feel that way with me. I want them to feel like I'm their big sister or, their little sister, depending on the age, right? But I want them to feel like, family. And that's important to me, that we make that connection. Now, you're not going to make that connection with everybody. There's going to be some people you never want to see them again. I just closed one like that. And they have a house to list. They've got 2 other houses. And I said, well, reach out to me if you need help. I didn't like, hey, let's move on. I was like, ugh, I don't know. If they give me the listing, fine, but I'm not going to work for it because they're bad people. So, you know, you pick and choose. You get to a place where, you know, if you're closing enough deals and that's your goal, right? So the other thing that I could preach on for hours is your goals, setting your goals up, setting them up and have them in writing. I've got a huge whiteboard, and if I was home, I would show you. I mean, it's literally 5 feet tall and you know, I don't know, 4 feet wide. It's big. And I put all my buyers and sellers on it. And I put my goal, like I'll take a picture and send it to Shima and she can send it out. But you can see every time I close a deal, it's in green, right? And I've closed 35 deals since October, right? And my goal was to close 35 deals. Well, I reached that goal, and I've reached the amount of money I wanted to make. And so I have to up my goal. You know, I'm not gonna now I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna kick back. No, I need to go buy some furniture. I'm closing on a property today. So there's more expenses. I need to work some more, you know, because you always expand to what you create. So when you reach a goal, don't stop, because you don't know what next year is going to hold, right? So you want to get out there and you want to continue to build it up so you're getting the referrals in the down market. So put your goals in writing, though. They have to be in writing. And then you have to look at them every day. So for me, I walk by that and I kind of get excited about that. So for me, it's like, I go and I look and I go, ooh, okay, that one's closing in another week. And then where will I be? And I'm constantly, it's stupid. Like, I mean, really, I'm like calculating. And it's not about the amount of money I have in my bank. It's about the goal, right? So you want that to be important to you. You want to be able to put it out to God, the universe, where whatever you call your higher power, you want to be partnering with that higher power. You want to be like, okay, today I need X. Don't forget to ask, because I believe that God, the universe, waits for us to ask. And I have so many times that I can share with you, including giving birth to Jean Martin, my second child, where I was like, okay, I've done everything I could do humanly possible. Step it up, people. You know, like I ask. And when I ask, unfortunately, because I'm a high D, I ask later than I should, right? Because I got this. I got it. No, none of us do. So it's a reminder to me all the time, every day, to ask. Give it up. Go do the work. You can't sit back and eat bonbons, but you go do the work, but you ask for what okay, here, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I got this, this, and this, but I need this. Ask, and ask daily. And then also, you know, first thing in the morning, you know, figure out your affirmations. I mean, these are the things that are powerful because they set your brain, your mindset into a place where you can do more. So if you wake up and you're like, oh, you know, I don't know, I don't want to do anything today, which is a lot of times how I feel. Truthfully, I'm not a morning person. Getting out of bed is hard for me. And I need to stop saying that, because what I need to do is switch it up, right? Because I'm saying it and I'm programming my body every time I say this stuff. Everything you say, your word is your wand. So what I need to be saying is, I am a morning person. I love going to bed by 10, because in the moment that's not my truth, but I need to make that my truth. I can make that my truth, right? So make your truth. What are your affirmations? You know, I'm an icon agent and I hit icon this month, this time, and I've closed X amount of deals. That's on my whiteboard. How many deals have I closed? And so in my brain every day, it's done. And that's why I say you hit icon once, you can hit it again every year, because you know you're an icon. You know how to do it. So I really do want you guys to look at that. And I don't care where you are as far as how many deals you've closed. Don't care. You can be an icon. So I think, Shima, are we at the same time? Are we September? Is that when you started in September?
No,
When's
I'm
your-
in February.
February. Okay, so March is your start date. So March right now, March, April, May, June, July. So you've 4 months, 4.5 months under your belt. You've got another, what is that? 7.5 months. Is that right? Do I have that right? I think so. I mean, you could hit icon. You could. It's a belief system, and it's going out and finding the leads. So another lead system, and you may just want me to shut up at this point, but if you're interested, I recommend I recommend Evolved Agents, and I know I told a few of you guys this at the conference. The guy who runs it, he looks like a kid. He's just so young, but he's really good, and he teaches you Facebook ads, the ads themselves, and then he's got an ISA program. Now, I want to say to get the ISA is an extra $1,000 and then an hourly for the ISA. So you might want to check other ISA programs out. I went with Smart Alto, and it's okay. They text. The difference is Evolved Agents, those ISAs call. Much more effective. So if I had to do it again, I would just do everything with Evolved Agents. Most of the agents have anywhere from 3 to 5 appointments their first week. So if you want appointments, might run you around, $4,000, but might be worth it to throw it on a credit card, because, you get one closing, it's paid, right? And then the rest is profit, and that's what you need. You need closed deals. So, but there's a lot of stuff out there that I wouldn't recommend. So just be careful. There's stuff out there, outbound engine, and stuff's horrible. Do not do it. So be careful where you get your leads, but Opcity is free upfront.
Question, how do you feel about geo fencing?
I don't know. I've seen them, but I haven't really investigated them. Isn't that where you get a certain neighborhood? So do they have agent testimonies on their website?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, don't do it. Evolved Agent, you've got agent upon agent upon agent saying, oh my God, this was the best thing I've done. So if they don't have agent testimonies, there's a reason. The other thing you want to do is go to Better Business Bureau. You want to go geofencing reviews. I learned all this after I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on this stupid ass stuff. And then you go and you see all these complaints. And you go, why didn't I look at this first? Because the person on the phone is like, da, 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 oh, it's so great, it's going to be fantastic. And they're doing whatever they can to close you and get your credit card. So just don't do it. Just be like, I have to check some things out. Call me next week. And that'll give you time. Sorry, that'll give you time to really bring your emotions down, because a lot of times, they're saying they've been trained. They're saying things that make you feel like, oh, that'd be great. And it'll also give you time to research it. So anything else? Well, this was good, you guys. I hope I helped. I hope, anyone wants to talk to me, Shima's got my information. Vanda has my information. I don't think Rachel and I got to exchange information, so we need to do that. But just feel free to reach out to me, text me. You can instant message me at EXP. I'm Holly.Gerchen, just the way you see it, at EXP Realty. So yeah, you can find me anywhere, and I'm happy to answer questions or do anything I can to help.
Thank you, Holly. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been great. And
Send
hopefully
out a copy of the recording to everybody.
Oh, good. Send it to me too. I want to send it out to my team because most people weren't available.
Will do.
Yeah, good. All right, you guys. Well, good. We'll have a great Thursday. I think it's Thursday. And yes, set your goals. I'd love to see if you put them down on paper. You want to show me, I'd love to see them.
And let us know when your apartment in Panama is ready so we can rent it.
Absolutely, I will. I will. I mean, I'm closing on a property here in St. Louis today, and I need to get the other property ready to sell. And it'll be the money from the other property that will move into the one in Panama. So, but
So which building did you decide on in Panama?
I
Or did
didn't.
you- Oh,
Once again, I thought I was going to do the Wonders, and actually the tower next to it, which was the U2.
okay.
But here's the deal, you guys. I mean, I don't know who was on that tour with me, but it's surrounded by highways, right? I mean, I was like, how do you get out? How can I walk? And they're like, well, you'd have to drive over there and then you can walk. I'm like, and I loved the building. It's beautiful. It's going to be spectacular. But I was like, no, my whole point is I want to go down the elevator with Cody, my dog, and I want to go for a walk, right? And I don't want to go down the elevator and get in my car and then go for a walk. So I decided to hold off, and I'm looking at a few different areas, and there's some other buildings. I'm actually looking with Eric, who was at the conference. So I think I'm going to work with him. And there's a few buildings in the city that he said, these are as nice as that, and the price is better. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Check those
Yeah,
out.
because I thought the prices were kind of high too for Panama in general. And then, you know, if you're using it for, you know, income generating, you know, it just seemed kind of high from what I could see. And the pricing was very alternating based on who you talk to. So yeah, all of that.
Yeah, no, I wanted to stay well under 400. I'm like, and everything that I was interested in was like, 450, 515. I'm like, I don't want that. And so we only got to see, right, one developer, two
Right.
buildings, right? And so that's all they're going to show us. But right next to you that we looked at and went through, there in between you and what is the Hilton, I think, there's another building there. And that one is called, I can't remember. But so Eric is going to go film that one for me. There's another one that's a, not Louis Vuitton, but it's another designer, not Fendi, not Louis. Oh, it's right there. Anyway, and he said, that's a really great building. It's a couple blocks back from the beach. That's fine with me. I mean, they're all tall and you can still get ocean views and all that stuff. As long as it's a few blocks and I can walk to the beach, that's fine. So Armani, there's an Armani building.
Armani, oh, okay. Was Eric the one that was the realtor, was with Realtor.com? The one who spoke at the beginning, like to introduce everyone? Is that who Eric was? Oh,
so Eric
was on the panel?
Yeah, he was on the panel. He was the black guy all the way to the left.
I wanted to get his information too.
I can send it to you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have it. So.
Here.
Yeah.
If you want to write it down right now, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, he's super. Hold on, let me get into my WhatsApp. So
what's his last name?
It is Eric with a CK, ERICK, Edwards. Okay, let me click on him. His phone number is country code 507 6151 8248. And I don't see that I have his email here. Oh, but I know he sent it to me. Let me see. Hold on a second. I know he gave it to me. Here it is. Panama Property Guru at gmail.com.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Tell him I gave you his information.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
All right,
so
guys.
much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you
This
again.
is cool.
I'm glad I know you now and not 25 years ago.
Me too.
All right. Bye-bye,
Hey,
guys.
Holly, I sent you a
Bye, guys.
message
See you
on
later.
workplace chat.
What was that?
I sent you a message